Just know, when did you develop your interest for music, and were you always a gifted artist, or you decided to take up music much later in life?
So, I've always loved singing. There's a video of me singing when I was like 3 years old,
Oh.
in my grandmother's living room. Yeah. But when I started taking it more serious was when I was in college choir.
Hmm.
Uh, and actually kind of like right before is like the first time I tried out for The Voice.
Huh?
And
Oh, back in
man,
college.
back actually before college,
Oh, okay.
right before I graduated high school, I went down to LA and tried out.
Okay.
I've tried out 11 times
Uh,
since then.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yeah, so this is the 12th time I've tried out, but this is the first time I've made it and, been competing on the show.
12 times now, trying for the show 11 times and still having the courage to try for the 12th time. What did you think happened along your way that did not allow you to get on the show much before?
I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. It's all about
Hmm.
timing.
Hmm.
I could tell you if I was that 17-year-old kid, that if I made it then, my head would be 3 times the size it is now. Um,
Okay.
just because, I'd be way too confident, be, a little cocky when it comes to that.
Oh.
But
Hmm.
for me though, like I think that's kind of what happened. I would say like I'm very happy with how everything turned out, and I always joke around, dang, they waited till I was 30 to get on the show, but at the same time, like it happened for a reason for sure.
So you told about that had you been on the show as a 17-year-old, you might have been way too overconfident, but now as a 30-year-old, you have more headspace to actually be on a national TV show. So is there something that you did differently for this season that you weren't able to do before in your singing techniques, or maybe the way you sang and presented yourself?
No, what I did different, I mean, what happened that was different was that they reached out to me this time.
Okay.
I kind of before I would send in videos. I stood in that super long
Hmm.
line with like 4,000 people, and did all that craziness. And then finally, they do things a little differently now because what happened with COVID and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
now you don't have to wait in line. So they reach
Hmm.
out to you. I got a message on Instagram. I
Okay.
thought it was fake. I thought it was fake, and then my fiance, girlfriend at the time, but fiance
Hmm.
now, she looked at it and was like, "No, it's legit. Like it's send in videos." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So we sent in videos, and here we are.
That's really lovely to know. And while you were there for your blind audition, what sort of a preparation did you do before, or did you clear up your mind? Were you confident? Were you nervous? What was going on in your mind right before stepping onto the stage for your blind audition?
Probably all of those. I mean, I was confident for sure, but I was also crazy nervous. When I saw the stage for the first time, I teared up a little bit because I was like, oh,
Oh,
finally
finally you're
get to see
there.
that stage. Yeah. But the thing I said to myself before I got on stage was, remember who you are, remember why you're doing this, and remember who you're doing it for. And I kind of just repeated those things in my head, and yeah, I mean, the results came out, and it was amazing. So
How did you
I'm very
feel when the
happy.
judges turned their chair and you were finally going to be on a national music TV show?
Oh man, it felt crazy. I specifically didn't look at them on
Hmm.
purpose because I was looking at them until I saw Michael Bublé going to touch his button, and then I turned and looked at the crowd and started just kind of singing to the crowd because
Hmm.
I probably was gonna freak out. I don't know.
All right. And is there a difference between the kind of crowd reception that you get while you were singing for The Voice and compared to the other performances that you have done for an open audience? How different is the audience there, and how different is the audience while you're singing at the reality show?
What I like about both is that it's all pretty organic. Like nobody, it's not like they're yelling at them, telling them to cheer or anything like that. It's all like everybody's cheering, everybody's
Hmm.
having a good time. Um, I like to get any crowd I have in front of me to get up and dance and have some fun. So any crowd is amazing, and I
Hmm.
love both crowds, all the crowds.
That's good. And Is it like your level of confidence varies when you are there performing in front of a national TV show and you have the whole world looking at you because your performance gets telecast and everything, and you have these amazing judges who have had such incredible music career compared to when you're just, on your regular gig and tours because you have been singing for a very long time. So, are you more nervous while you're there as a like in a show and you're competing with other singers?
Um, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a competition,
Hmm.
right? So, yeah, I mean, but I've done competitions my whole life. I've done
Hmm.
sports my entire life.
Hmm.
So, stepping into that light, it's go time, and I've done this for so long, and I was ready. And I mean, I would say the only time I was really nervous was the blind audition.
Hmm.
And then after that, competing in the battles and the knockouts,
Hmm.
I wouldn't say I was too nervous because, it's something that I love to do already. Performing is my favorite thing. I wasn't alone on the stage
Hmm.
anymore. Yeah, no, I would say the blind audition was the hardest part.
Okay, and you talked about the knockouts. How do you feel like during a knockout? Because it's like either you get to get ahead on the show, or maybe you're gonna get back home. So,
Yeah.
how do you keep your calm and your, mind relaxed while you're singing for a knockout, which is basically like one of them has to get back today.
Yeah. How I did it at least was, I accepted the fact that I could go home that day.
Hmm.
I talked, I don't want to, I want to win the whole thing if I can. But I accepted the fact that, Kenny, my battle partner, he's
Hmm.
amazing. He's such a performer, he's such a good singer. Like I knew I was gonna be in trouble and it wasn't gonna be just a walk in the park. So in the knockout round, I was like, you know what, let's just go for it and see what we can do. Again, that goes back to my background of sports. Is like
Oh.
I'm just I gotta go. I gotta go. It's time to go. Let's do it.
You mentioned about how you have been competing in sports for ever since you have been young, and is there any similarity that you feel while you are there as a sportsman playing a sport and while you're there as a singer, or are these two absolutely different for you?
The thing that's the same is that all eyes are on you.
Hmm.
And so that's the one thing. I mean, singing obviously is not playing football or
Hmm.
playing basketball, but at the same time, it's still a workout. People don't understand. Like it's, you have to have certain breath control and certain things that you got to
Hmm.
do to make sure that you're okay, and the sound comes out right. So I would say it's very similar to sports, and I kind of correlate the things, especially if I'm in a competition.
Hmm.
Um, it's like sports. It's you got to go and you got to keep working.
Okay, and you talked about how there are different sort of techniques that you need to adopt while you're singing. So, can you elaborate on that? What are the different kind of, if there are any specific practice that you follow before every performance that you make sure that you have to do this so that your singing does not get affected in any way?
Hmm. So I mean, I warm up on a daily basis, every day, no matter what.
Hmm.
I try to warm up in the morning and keep myself warm. I get like a little straw and do like a little vocal exercise with that too.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes if I'm feeling kind of scratchy, I'll use something called Vocal Mist. It's like a product that you use. It's like a
Okay.
nebulizer.
Hmm.
Um, but more or less, I mean, I warm up. Warming up is the most important thing. If you're not warming up, then you have a chance to even damage your voice a little bit. And
Okay.
so, warming up and breathing is,
Hmm.
is the most important thing for me.
Okay. And Ralph, you have been on the show for quite some time now. So before you went on the show, how did the audience, especially on social media, TikTok, or elsewhere where you perform, interacted with you? And how has that changed after your presence on the show? You are known to a much wider audience now. So do you get people coming up to you and be like, if they can get your autograph, get a selfie with you? And how are people reaching out to you on Instagram?
So yeah, no, I mean before this, I have a band. It's called Vibe Check, and we
Hmm.
uh we were pretty popular already,
Hmm.
which is awesome, but not necessarily me. And
Hmm.
so the band was very popular, but this opportunity and this is just, yeah, it's made it even better. So we had a big crowd before. Now we
Hmm.
have a sold out crowd, which is awesome.
Okay.
Um, and then so now like yeah, I go to the grocery store and sometimes some people recognize me. Not
Hmm.
always, which is cool too. I don't I it always like not that it's weird, but it's just crazy that that's happening. But it's funny like when people recognize me in the stores and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I don't mind taking a picture or signing something. I'm never too good for that for sure. But yeah, no, it's just so cool. It's cool more than anything.
So it's been very overwhelming ever since you have made your appearance at The Voice. That.
Yes, for sure. I've been trying to get back to everybody. I can't reply to everybody, but I'm trying my best.
All right. So have like before you got on The Voice, your music career would have looked a certain way. Has that changed a lot after you are there on the reality show? What are new opportunities that you have gotten because now more people know you, and what are new career opportunities that you're dwelling into with regard to music after The Voice?
So, I mean, I would say either way, I was gonna try to do this, but I'm doing more I'm working on originals now more.
Hmm.
At one point I was trying to grow my band
Hmm.
to be able to release originals later,
Hmm.
but now that I do have this national attention,
Hmm.
I definitely want to kind of release some stuff and get some original music out there. But then also like if I can take my band with me and we can go on tour or do something like that. That's my goal. I'm very ambitious when it comes to things too,
Hmm.
so I don't like letting things stop me. And so that's something that's a goal. We want to go on tour, 2027. Make sure we
Oh.
can, we can have some fun, some good times.
That's very good. So, how do you describe your unique singing style? Like you were there on the show with such incredible singers around you, and everybody was competing at the end. And like to compete and win, you must have felt anxious. Or how did you make sure that your singing style comes unique from others there?
Yeah, I mean, so what I like to pride myself on is, being able to sing anything,
Hmm.
aside from, other languages and stuff if I don't know them. But I love to be able to sing, certain songs and um, a lot of people labeled me as kind of like a rock singer right
Hmm.
away. But, my band is more of an R&B soul band. And so
Hmm.
I'm able to combine the two and kind of show that side of my voice and show certain sides of my voice that people just don't know I have. And
Hmm.
so even now, because I mean, where the playoffs are coming, I can tell you I'm trying to do something completely different,
Hmm.
and I want people to be like, oh wow, he can sing like that too. And so that's my goal, is to show the versatility that my voice
Hmm.
has. And I believe if I could show that, then hopefully the wins will keep coming.
So your audience is always up for a surprise. No, like they don't know what kind of new music style you'll come up with.
Exactly, exactly. That's how my band was too. My band,
Hmm.
we played from Michael Jackson to Bruno Mars
Oh,
to Journey to Blink 182. We did everything to a country Chris Stapleton song. We kind of just jumped around all the time, and people just never knew what they were gonna get when they came and saw us.
that's very lovely. And you talked about versatility and diversity, and you singing from various ranges of music genre and singers. But there would be one genre that you would associate yourself the most to. Like, could you just let us know what genre do you enjoy singing the most, and what artists do you look up to a lot?
Well, I love R&B more than anything, to be
Hmm.
honest with you. I mean, I'm a huge Stevie Wonder fan for sure.
Okay.
I look up to Stevie Wonder, I look up to Michael Jackson, to
Hmm.
those guys. But then, I mean, also to the Bruno Mars, to
Hmm.
Teddy Swims, those guys too. Like, I want to be able to kind of integrate all that together and kind of create my own little sound with all five of those people. And so we'll see what happens. That's what I'm trying to work on right now.
Oh, that's nice. So, how was your interaction with the contestants like behind the scenes when you were not there, when you were not in playouts, knockouts? Did you all come together in practice? Did you share your music routines? So, could you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, no, at the hotel where we were, waiting to go and perform, we would all hang out. We would all, hang out by the pool. There was a little
Hmm.
ping pong table.
Hmm.
There's restaurants there at the hotel. So we would hang out all the time. And then we'd also hang out in the rooms too and, sing for each other. figure out what would be better. I love giving my feedback to people,
Hmm.
and I know I love getting feedback from people
Hmm.
for mine. And so,
Hmm.
like for the blind auditions, we've probably I think we posted a couple of videos on our Instagrams and stuff about it. But we get to sing for each other. There's little groups of people singing for each other. It was fun. It was like band camp. It was like we were just all there and just yeah, having fun.
So, are you planning for any collaboration with the artist there after the show ends?
Definitely, definitely. I'm working on a couple of people. I want to collaborate with all of them if I can, but there's some ones I have in mind for sure.
Hmm, that's really nice. And you talked about how you're very receptive to feedbacks, but there's one thing that I've noticed in some singers and some people, young singers, who are very fearful of criticism. They
Mhm.
don't really, the reason why they don't want to get on a national TV show or they don't want to be on social media to put their singing out is because they are very fearful of how the audience is going to reach out to them. So, what would you suggest people how to overcome their fear, how to positively take criticism in the field like of art?
Yeah, you learn from it. You learn from it more than anything. I would say, I could say the voice is actually the first thing to humble me. When
Okay.
I was
Oh,
17, I
okay.
came down here. I went down to LA and I auditioned and they told me no. They were the first people to tell me no. And so, that was rough, and that was something that I had a choice whether to just give up and be like, oh well, I guess it's
Hmm.
not for me, or to, what, let me try again. Well, let me try again 10 more times. Let me try
Oh,
again
yeah.
11. You know what I mean? Like I've been told no so much that, it's almost like I don't want to say I like it, but I want to overcome anything that says
It
no
doesn't
to me.
stop you.
You can't let it stop you.
Okay, that
And
makes
so every no is one more yes that's gonna come for you. Or every time you hear no, or every time somebody tells you something whether they don't like it, or it's a chance to learn and grow from it. And that's my biggest advice, is to never give up and to never take no for an answer. I mean, obviously there's certain things you do have to take no for an answer, but never take no for an answer when it comes to your dreams, because no one else can do it but you if it's your dream. And
that.
so I'm living my dream right now. I'm living something that's absolutely crazy that I never thought that I'd actually really get to, but also never wanted to not get to, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
that
um
absolutely does because we interviewed Lauren yesterday, and this is what she said that resonates a lot. She said, "No is it's a no, it's not a never," and that's exactly what
exactly.
you say. No is never, no is not a never, and that's really lovely coming from you. So you were part of like Team Snoop, I believe, and while you were there, so what are the inputs and insights you have taken from Snoop Dogg? He being a phenomenal artist, performer, entertainer, I would say. So, what are the advice that you have taken up and applied on your music?
So he's a businessman, an artist, mogul, whatever. He's everything.
You name it, he
He's
is.
literally done everything. So yeah, no, I've just been trying to be a sponge around him and learn as much as I can from everything that he says. But also, his biggest advice to me was just relax and live in the moment, because we're here. I finally made it, 12th time. We're here though. You're here, you're on the show, you're competing, have fun and do your thing and do your best. And so that was his advice, and I really took that to heart, and I've continued to take that to heart.
That's very good. And you have made here on the show for so long, and I wish you all the best that you do win. But like, does
Thank
this
you.
thought ever occur to you? What happen if I get eliminated in the next? So is that ever worrying you, or you're like, I
Of
just
course.
need to give my best no matter what?
Yeah, of course. You have to, it's a competition again at the end
Hmm.
of the day, and anybody can be eliminated.
Hmm.
Anybody can beat anybody because everybody is so amazing. These
Absolutely.
people are crazy good at what they do. And I just, all I can do is just try to get out there and compete and do my best. And at the end of the day, as long as I do my best, nobody can really tell me anything. And that's kind of the mindset you have to have, especially when it comes to a competition like this, is
Hmm.
that you make sure that you do your best, and that's all you can do.
That's nice. That's really good. And how do you manage so many interests of yours? You have been part of a band, you're there on a reality show, you do sports, you get into sports and different music genres you're combining together. So how do you maintain the balance with all this?
Um, Sleep. No, no, just I mean, honestly, it's if you're interested in it, you're gonna do it, right? And
Hmm.
so, I love, I love playing basketball. I love,
Oh,
doing things. I love I even love going to the store. I don't know why, but I do. Getting out of the house, going to the store. Um, I don't know. It's just if you love what you do, you're gonna do it. And that's simple and plain. That's kind of why I do what I do. And I'm just happy to be able to do what I love now, especially on hopefully a national scale and continue to keep on, striving to be successful.
that's really good to know. And how are you looking up to your music career when the show finally ends? Is there anything new that you'll be doing? You told me about your tour. Is there any new form of music that you're releasing? So if you could just let us know about how your music career looks after the show would end.
Definitely. After the show ends, I'm gonna release some music, some
Hmm.
because I've never really released any original music before.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna release some originals and see how those go in the world and just try to promote that as much as I can. And then, like I said, hopefully in 2027, maybe go on a little tour. That's my goal. Again, it's ambitious. It's something that, not many people can accomplish, but um, like I've told you, I'm me and I love to overcome things like that. And I want to make sure that I'm successful in everything that I do.
That's no. And Ralph, you told me that you started singing when you were 3, and now in your 30s, you would have seen the evolution in the music industry for how music has evolved with all these times. So, what do you think has changed a lot in the past 10 years? Because on The Voice, we have had many young singers who are in their early 20s, and then there is you. So, do you see anything starkly different between the young singers and singers who are relatively more experienced?
Um, I would say, I mean, it's just no, I wouldn't say I don't see anything too different. I mean, the whole music world is always ever changing,
Hmm.
but at the end of the day, music is music. It's writing down lyrics on a paper and singing it, with an instrument. And that's how it should be. That's how it always should be. I mean, I know they got this AI stuff coming out that you
Hmm.
can just do whatever you want with,
Absolutely, yeah.
but you know, I feel like it's never
Replace the
gonna
artist.
beat the yeah, it's never gonna
Hmm.
replace the artist. And
Absolutely.
so that's my main thing is, you can never beat art. Art's always gonna win.
That's good. And what advice do you have to the emerging new singers who have started singing in the school choir and who are looking up to this ambitious music career, want to be at The Voice? So what would you be advising them?
Don't give up. I mean, again, 11 times, 12 times the charm. Like you never know when your blessing is coming. And but if you stop, you'll never know. And
That's
so that's why I push just do not give up because you don't know what you don't know. And if you give up, you'll never know. And that's my main advice. Don't give up.
to give your best and to not give up.
Exactly.